Netflix and Spencer director Pablo Larraín are in production on El Conde, a dark comedy that imagines Chilean dictator Augusto Pinochet as a 250-year-old vampire.
Silly.
I'm not sure, does he have the whimsy to pull that off?
What was that dumbass line from Spencer where they're talking about the pheasants? And he's like, beautiful birds, but they're not that bright. And she's like, they say that about me.
Yeah, that was the whole point. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. I'm Will.
And I'm Kristen.
And this is So I'm Surviving This Hellscape.
Barely.
So this is The Boys, season 3. I just did this. Season 3, episode 6.
Herogasm.
Okay. Well, I didn't hate last week. You did. But I like this one better.
Yeah.
I think stuff happened.
Yeah.
I'm just not... I don't think this is going to be my favorite season. I think it's still like a fine show. It's still a good show, and I'm very curious to see where we're heading. But...
Yeah. I feel like it's the exact same.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Starlight's doing something.
Starlight's doing something. is doing something. We seem to have...
I love them together.
Yeah, together they're great.
Yeah, because I remember that last season I really liked.
Yeah.
And then when they had like 2 or 3 scenes this episode, and I was like, oh, thank God.
Yeah. So we seem to be over the Nina and Frenchie and Kimiko and Cherie thing.
Well, Nina's still out there.
Nina's still out there.
I am astonished Cherie is still alive.
Me too. Wild.
I mean, I don't have a ton invested in her other than she's pretty, and by most accounts, she's nice.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess she stole from a Russian mobster, but...
Who among us? No, but I mean, I like, you're right. I like Starlight's doing something, like, as ill-advised as it is. Butcher has like a plan, you know, like, and I feel like we accomplished something this week. Like, something happened, like stuff happened. And
well, mostly Starlight based though.
Yeah.
That's, first of all, the scene she had with Victoria was so good.
So good.
I don't know where this show gets off finding this caliber of actors seemingly in the middle of nowhere. Like, so many of these are people that I haven't really seen in a bunch of other things.
Not a bunch of other things, but like, I know her from Victoria. I know her from a couple other things.
Well, she just like, that scene was so good, and she was so compelling.
I think part of it also has to do with the material and the direction, because like, I thought she was serviceable on that show Timeless, but I think the scripts and the direction were serviceable on that show Timeless. So I think like, whenever you find an actor who you're like, oh, I find them appealing, but this show isn't amazing, and then they get something that like is amazing and services them appropriately, I think there's a huge difference. And I think that's what we're seeing here.
It was so interesting in the power play, because this show could really get bogged down with like overpowered people beating each other into the ground. And it manages to not quite do that.
Yeah.
And I think that that's a lot of my takeaway from this episode is Starlight based, because she was one of like 3 or 4 main characters at the start of the show. And so in many ways, she is our protagonist, our hero, our reliable narrator. And there's a part of me where I'm like, would you fucking do something?
Like, nut up and like make something happen.
Well, I think they're saving it.
I guess, but
I think
like,
they're saving,
yeah.
Because if she just is constantly throwing down, then there's so it's like, I think they're trying to reserve or resist.
I wonder if she's gonna like level up in a way that she's like never been able to access before, and she's the one that like gets rid of Homelander somehow.
I'm not betting on it, because I know that I'm not like, I mean, I'm not alone, but it's the Homelander show. It's not the Starlight show, but it's just sort of, are you turning on him, or?
I mean, okay, look, I'm not turning on him. I think Antony Starr is delivering literally the performance of a lifetime. But
he kicked it back up a notch this episode.
It
was starting to get a little bit redundant.
Yeah.
And his like Golem Smeagol thing was so good. It was so good.
He was like, the hobbitses are my friends. And
I love how you can tell, and I think it's an audience thing. I don't think it's in world, but with the audience, I love how we can tell when he means business.
Oh,
and when he's always menacing, but there's times where I'm like, he's just fucking with him in this scene, where other times I'm like,
well, because sometimes I actually don't even think he's fucking with them on purpose. I think that's just his resting state is just sort of generally fucking with people. I don't even think he realizes he's doing it most of the time.
And I mean, he is such a utterly despicable character that to find ways to still endear and humanize him.
Yeah.
Like,
that's the thing for me is like, I don't want to stop having Antony Starr on this show. The thing for me is that I need him to have some sort of comeuppance, because so far he is still untouchable, except for like the little bit at the end of this episode.
Well, in the beginning of this episode, he was scared when Soldier Boy showed up and was sort of like, what do I like? What do we do? And I'm very interested and curious about Ashley's plotline as well.
I can't watch her pull out her hair again. It like hurts my whole scalp.
Well, because she's we were saying earlier that it's like she needs to have a foot in both sides. She can't one way or the other. And they're continuing that. And she's not getting like material, but she's on this show to the point where I'm like, are they going to find a way to make her a superhero?
I don't want that.
Like, I don't know, because she told off A-Train, and his name is Jesse something?
Jesse T. Usher.
Jesse T. Usher. He is very appealing.
Yeah.
And that is it. I cannot figure out what we are still doing with A-Train.
Well, especially at this point, if at the end he is dead.
It can't. It can't be.
I don't think he can be either. He got rid of Blue Hawk extremely.
Shocked me. I think it's notable that this show managed in Herogasm. None of that stuff shocked me. It was that is what shocked me.
I don't like the tentacle dick guy, but
it's so over the over the top. The twins were weird too.
Yeah.
And not in a way that I think it was like bad or a mistake or a misstep, but I was just sort of like, what an odd plot. Like what an odd choice.
I think the whole of the I've already forgotten what the other team was called. I think Payback. The whole of the Payback like storyline has largely been lost on me because they haven't amounted to anything. 3 of them are dead now. Noir is still all fucked up, but he's doing something because he cut his tracker out. So like Soldier Boy is the only one left.
Well, because that scene with Homelander and Noir, like we don't get to see Homelander be vulnerable hardly ever.
I know, it's so weird.
But it re-energized the plot a little. Like this episode, I don't think it was a slam dunk, but it re-energized the plot in like 3 or 4 different places where I'm like, okay.
Yeah. It worked. It worked for me in a way that last week I just was so frustrated. And I do, before we move completely away from it, I
haven't finished a single one of the conversations I've started. Go ahead.
I do like the juxtaposition of the real world wherein A-Train, a black man, dragged a white man down the street to death.
Mm-hmm.
Cathartic.
No, because I didn't finish with Victoria and Annie. I mean, I know that's her name.
Yeah,
but
Annie January.
I'm just like, but you're Starlight, and she's not. No. I have to get used to Annie. But I thought that scene was so good, and I love Victoria sussing everything. It makes me feel like she's trying to do something. Like she's
Victoria?
not. Like she's not just the chaos entity.
No, I totally agree.
Things have accused her of.
Because Starlight even was like, why should I believe anything you say? You're the one that exploded half of Congress. And she's like, well, given the fact that they all circulated disgusting images of me, I can't bring myself to feel too bad about it. And I was like, you know what? Fair. I'll allow it. That's fine.
Well, and just the way that she was like, is he afraid I'm going to pop his head? Like,
amazing.
And the Starlight started, and she was like, oh, put that away. And even the whole, like, she was... I forget how she phrased it.
That's also like the 4th time someone has told Starlight to put it away.
Again, we're building.
You're right.
We're building to something.
You're definitely right.
But I did love what Victoria's saying, where she was like, it won't be easy to kill America, sweetheart. Mm-hmm. But I could probably still do it.
And then she gave her a nosebleed.
She like. Yeah. I don't know. So I really like that.
Well, she also said she wants to help them bring down Homelander, essentially. But she was talking about it inside Vought, and I thought we decided that was a no-no. Because he can hear everything. Whatever. It's like they're playing really fast and loose with the rules.
He was too busy fighting with himself at that point. But so Ashley told off A-Train. It felt like there was no real immediate sense of like consequence.
Yeah.
But it felt like a crossing of a line. It felt like that's, feel like that's the first time she's told one of them to fuck off.
Well, I also think that was potentially, assuming he is still alive, I think that was sort of.
It also was true. It's like, how much collateral have you?
100%. It's not that she's wrong, but I think for him, that was like a crucible where he's like, oh, you literally don't care about me. I am here as a token. So, because once he sincerely apologized to Hughie.
That was great. And that's the thing is I want to like A-Train.
Yeah.
Like I want to root for him, or I want for something to be there.
Yeah.
But it's similarly with Deep. And it's like I have a little bit easier time because of our connection to Chase through Gossip Girl. And again, a hope and belief
where
that
I'm like, your dad is just pimping you out to the highest bidder. It's like,
but the hope and belief that we're going somewhere with this. Also, okay, Gal Gadot's got it. She got it. Okay?
She's got the note. Let's move on.
Like, fuck you, you dumb cunt, for trying a little stunt, however ill-advised or out of touch it might have been. She did the thing where a bunch of celebrities do something cute and viral on the internet, and she will rue the day.
Also, she's the only one that gets heat for it, not the 40 other celebrities that were in the video with her.
Because literally, like, after, like, a day after it happened, Kristen Wiig was telling a story that she, like, texted Kristen Wiig, and she was like, oops, I'm so sorry. And it's like, I just don't think the crime is that egregious.
There were a couple moments in this episode where I was like, you're hitting the nail too on the head, and that was one of them. And the other one was when
I wish it was a different song.
Sure,
like if it was like
else.
Heaven or something.
Yeah, anything else. Like True Colors, whatever. But the other one was when Soldier Boy was talking about how Bill Cosby being America's father and that he would never wear a pussy baby Bjorn and shit. And I'm just like, ugh.
Is he a bad actor?
Jensen?
Yeah.
No,
okay.
I think
something's weird.
I think it's Soldier Boy.
I'm like,
I mean, he's not amazing. He was on a fucking CW show for 15 years.
He looks, first of all, I am still thrown by the voice. He looks amazing.
He's so good.
I always thought Jared was the hot one, but Jared's a little bit, I mean,
he's very tall.
I liked Louis Tomlinson. So if that tells you anything about my, but
it's all Nile for this girl.
Jensen's hair.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. He's definitely attractive. And I think, so I mentioned it last week, and you did not take it on board because you asked me the exact same question this week about whether that's his real voice. And I think he does have a deep voice.
It's just very like,
he has a man's voice, but he and Misha Collins both like made a mistake when they started Supernatural. Then they have talked about it in interviews. Misha Collins especially was like, I thought I was only going to be here for a handful of episodes, so I did this really deep voice and he was like, and it hurts me now. And then he was on the show again for like 15 years, and it's like very hard to get rid of it.
There's something about the main plot of this season that I just don't fully.
I think it's the thing. I think it's the thing that I said last week and that Rachel and I have said a bunch. I think it's this mid-pandemic shit. Everyone was so bummed out and they were like, I'm going to put it into my art. And the rest of us are sitting here watching it being like, why though?
Please give us a single reason to continue living.
Like know, right?
one thing. And we can't even have termite anymore.
He got squished.
I mean, he wasn't a good guy. I liked his little thingy.
His little dick? Mm-hmm. That he was scratching the inside of the guy's dick. You liked that?
No, his
little dick?
Yeah. And that's not like a size queen thing. I mean that like a term of endearment. Like I thought it was cute. And he would get out and he would get big and it would go like that.
Oh, I see. Okay. Like I was like, what on earth is
every
like
time he would jump and it would bob. And
it's
I
sort of
that.
Like when Will was playing that video game that Keanu Reeves did that, and you can build yourself and you can choose if you want a cut or an uncut dick. And when you toggle in between them, it just goes bloop. It's very funny.
I just liked that he was on retainer to do that, and he's not anymore. The Herogasm was fine. It was silly.
It was definitely silly. I mean, it's like, well, it was sort of silly, and then MM and Starlight both had very good points where MM was the one who was like, there are real human sex workers. Well, that was hysterical.
But no, sorry to step on your actual...
No, that was so hysterical. Because, like...
He's so good at cunnilingus. He gobbles it up.
He just really likes to lick that vagina. It's so funny, the intro, trying to get MM into Herogasm, because he's just a human. But anyway, they both made a really good point about there being real human sex workers in there. And then we do have to watch a human woman get impaled on a ginormous ice dick. And I'm just sort of like, ugh.
Yeah.
Like he conjured a huge ice penis.
It also was just like, I don't know if this is too telling, but it's just sort of, it was evergreen. Like it was eternal. And it's like,
what do you mean?
The party, the orgy. And it's
like they've been having it for so many years. Yeah.
I could be at that party for maybe 1 hour. Like 40 minutes to an hour.
Yeah, but like
I would be spent.
But like 1 hour, like one time, like 1 year, and then I think I'd be like, no, I know what it has to offer. I'm all set.
It just, there was a lot. The Hughie and Starlight plot advanced.
Did it?
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, she popped him.
That's true.
And he admitted that
he saved her, though. Also, he's leaking some sort of fluid from his ear now.
Is he? I missed
just
that.
As an FYI, and he didn't tell anyone about it, and he didn't do anything. And the footage, the like shots of him and Butcher shooting up the V24 look like a scene from Requiem for a Dream. Like they're doing heroin.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's a real thing.
I'm sorry, he got to be a real pro at like tying off his own arm and shooting up a substance into his veins after 2 times.
There are red flags. I just I think it's an authentic plot. It just bums me out.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's not the worst plot, but it's not in my top 5, 10, 50 favorite tropes. I do like that she has sort of let him have it, and it ended with her coming out, just sort of laying it all.
Like getting rid of her secret identity, essentially. Other people just recognize her, so it doesn't, it's like not.
Sometimes, I don't know.
But I thought that was amazing, and MM was like, this is a bad idea, and she was like, I don't give a fuck anymore. Because she kind of told off Victoria, too, before she left.
That is one thing I am enjoying about this season is so far, there's a lot of bluffs being called. Homelander, Antony, Maeve, who is still MIA, but there's a lot of which I find interesting. And I think that if that's an overall theme of the season, I actually find that to be kind of fascinating and relatable.
Sure, yeah.
Deep it's the same plot. I'm not hating it. It's just not it. It's the exact same thing he was doing in the first episode of this season, up to and including fucking an octopus.
He did kind of call out his wife in this one, where he was like, I had that handled. Don't jump. Like, why'd you jump in?
Yeah, I don't think she took the note.
I don't think she took the note either, but he made the note. And I think
she's just always like 5 paces behind him.
Mouthing to what he's saying. And then he was just fucking another octopus. So weird. I felt like the octopus was fucking him. Yeah, oh god. He's just like pushing it away.
Well, just Annie has
got a picture.
The picture on her baking sheet.
Jesus Christ! I feel like it got bigger. I feel like they're trolling us.
She's like, hello, Hughie.
It's so huge. I know she's little, but she's not as little as she looks like she is. And it is like this big. It's so funny.
I don't even think it's product placement because we're not getting pictures of the brand or the logo.
There's like no Teen Wolf shots of the phone whatsoever. It's bonker. Like it looks like an iPad.
It's
like
almost commentary, but it's not. There's not a bright enough light being shined on it.
I can't get over it. Every time she holds it up to her face, I'm like, do you need a scaffolding to keep it there?
I feel like there's still stuff that we didn't touch on.
Yeah, I mean, Soldier Boy, Butcher, and Hughie were all trying to team up on Homelander to kill him, or like for Soldier Boy to do his like
good season for getting Jack Quaid naked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
Yeah.
There's something there's an everyman quality that I'm like,
I dig it. He's cute.
So,
but yeah, anyway, Homelander got out of it before Soldier Boy's power could like ramp up again or whatever.
Before Mantis could actually put him to sleep.
Exactly, yeah, 100%. Kimiko like went totally ham and, you know, busted out.
She's afraid. So
she's afraid she's the monster.
Really great.
Yeah.
Both her and Cherie. I already mentioned earlier, but I was like,
Yeah.
I can't really explain my fondness for Cherie. But I was like, come on, do something, and she
did. She pulled it out.
and then it pulled her out.
Nina's in the wind.
Kimiko's. She said that she always thought it was the like power that made her the killer. And now she feels like it's not, but that guy needed to be killed.
100%.
It was Big Juno from The Descent, Sookie Stackhouse, what's her face from Scream 5. Like she stabbed that dude 17 times with that nail.
Stab him harder next time. In the dick also. But the other thing too is that she was very concerned at the beginning that Frenchie had run away because she kissed him, and I'm sort of like, if that were the reason, which we know that it's not, but like if that were the reason, he's been sending you mixed messages calling you my heart in French constantly since the moment he met you. Like episode 3 of season 1, he's calling her mon coeur, and I'm like, that's on him then if you kissed him thinking that he loved you.
She just wants to watch Singing in the Rain, which is an excellent movie. If you've never seen Singing in the Rain, it's one of the classics that you really need to see. It holds up.
We'll do it. Well. We'll do it at some point because I've never seen it.
What? We do this like every year and a half. It's so good.
I believe you.
It's really funny.
I believe you. I love Debbie Reynolds.
She had 2 days to learn how to sing and dance with Fred Astaire and
Gene Kelly.
Yeah. So yeah. Yeah, she had like 2 days to learn how to do it, and she fucking, because that's what they did back then. They fucking did it.
They just did it.
They didn't have some digital double to come in and dance for her.
Much like Soldier Boy, they were all in a lot of benzos. So it worked out.
Everybody was coked up. It was great. So no long-term health or social socioeconomic.
Yeah. None at all. None whatsoever. All right. We'll be back next week. Bye.